Hey everybody, it's Mike Hansen here at Hansen Fitness for Golf, and I have a special little challenge that I'm putting myself under that I hope you will follow along with, and I think you'll be able to learn some things from it and then maybe even incorporate the same program yourself. My goal, my challenge for myself is I want to increase my club head speed. I'm looking for about 6 to 7 miles an hour because they say if you pick up 1 mile an hour club head speed, that equates to about 2.5 yards, which is about 20 yards. So my goal is to get, I'm at about 100, 101 right now, and my goal is to get to about 108. Even if I can get 110, that would be awesome. So a little bit of history about myself is I grew up playing football. I wasn't a golfer until I got to college, and then once I started playing, I fell in love with it, and I played all the time. And I had some good club head speed. I had a pretty low handicap, and then what happened was life happened. So I'm 45 years old right now. I have 3 kids. I don't have the time to go out and play a lot or practice. So what I get to do is I get to play in about 4 scrambles a year. So I want to try and play a little bit more, and I want to be able to hit the ball more. Being a golf-specific fitness expert, I want to be able to hit the ball more when I go out and play with clients or corporate people that invite me to play out in their scrambles. So that's just a little bit of history. I worked out my entire life, and I think I've mainly worked out for power. And just lately, I trained for the last 2.5 months. I've trained for a half marathon. And what happened was it's really locked up my hips, as I've noticed in the assessment that I'll talk about. But that's kind of what the history of myself is I used to play a ton of golf, and now I can't play as much just because of time. So my goal is to play a lot more and be able to swing it a lot faster when I do. So that's 8 weeks. Why am I documenting this? The main reason I'm going to document this is because I want to show you how I'm going to do it. Hopefully I'm going to get some good results. I want to use my expertise I'm certified through the Titleist Performance Institute in almost everything I can be, especially their power. I just went to the power last summer, and I learned a ton about creating more power in your swing. I have an exercise science degree from Purdue that I want to include in this, using that knowledge. And you can't ever mess with 15 years of knowledge of working with and seeing probably all types of different bodies that have come in and out of the doors here. So I'm finally going to do it for myself. The other main reason I want to document it is accountability, because even coaches need coaches. I want to be accountable to you. I want to be accountable to myself. And I want to get the results, because if I don't get the results, how's it going to make me look? So my goal is really to put the work in, put the effort in, document it all along the way, share it with you, so you can probably use it. You can use it for yourself, or you can help others too as well, just by seeing this. So like I said, I have 3 kids. My workout time is usually about 4:30 or 5 in the morning. So I just try and squeeze it in whenever I can, and then also I'm going to have to get some range time in too, which isn't a bad thing. So that's the plan. The plan is to show you exactly what I'm doing. So yesterday I went through an assessment with Mike, we call him Irish Mike, Michael Carroll, here at the gym, the other trainer that works here. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what I found in that assessment. And then just earlier today I went and saw legendary golf coach here in Orange County, Bob Laskin, a good friend of mine, and he gave me some pointers that I can do to increase the club head speed, at least from a swing standpoint. So I'm going to show you those assessments next, so stay tuned. All right, so now let's find my problem areas. So what I did was I went through our whole assessment that we do in the gym here. I had our coach, Irish Mike Carroll, take me through the assessment that we do here. And then I also went and saw my friend, legendary golf instructor here in Orange County, Bobby Laskin, and he gave me some really good tips that it's going to help me with developing more speed just from a swing standpoint. So let's go over the first thing that I did. I did the physical assessment. So my TPI assessment that we do here on everybody, it helps us look at mobility, it helps us look at stability, it helps us look at your balance, and then how you move or how you can separate your upper and lower body as well. And that's going to point out anything that may cause any pain or sometimes swing faults in your swing just by the way your body moves. So the first thing that I saw on me, and I was very surprised at this because I used to blow this assessment away. I'm not sure, maybe it's my age, maybe it's all that marathon training, but my hips were really tight. My hips have always been pretty loose, and I was tight both directions, internal and external rotation. The other thing was my thoracic spine. I could turn 20 more degrees to the right than I could to the left. I was really locked up on the left. And then my left shoulder, I had no external rotation in my left shoulder. So the great thing is that I always say is you can take it from the gym to the course. You'll see in the swing video that my left side was limited, and that's one of the tips that Bobby gave me. So the next thing I did was the power assessment. And since I've always worked out for power, I've been able to maintain some pretty good power. What we do is we do 4 tests, and these have been studied on and on by the guys at Titleist Performance Institute. They've used them in all their golfers. Dr. Greg Rose says he can predict a world-long drive just by these 3 tests. He's starting to use them in baseball now too. So what we do is we use an 8-pound ball for our adult males, and then we do a chest pass, we do a sit up and throw test, and then we do a vertical jump, and then the last thing that we do is a shot put. So in the chest pass, we're looking for anywhere between 18 and 22 for the males. My chest pass was 18.6. So I've never been a really good bench presser, or I can't do 1,000 push-ups. So I knew that was there. Sit up and throw was 20.6. So I'm right in the middle of that. And then that tests more my core stuff. And then the vertical jump was 19.8. And I promise you, 2 months ago, my vertical was about 21 or 22, and I think the reason I couldn't get any higher on that is just because of the tightness in my hips and that long distance repetitive marathon training. And then when we did the shot put test, I had 32 on the right side, and we always do the left side, so I had 27 feet on the left side. And they want to have the baseline shot about 1.5 times your vertical. So if you have a 10-inch vertical, you want to be able to throw the shot put 25 feet. So mine was 32 on the right, my vertical was 19, so I have a little bit of work to do. I want to be around 34 for that one. The next thing we did was a really powerful tool that we use here, and that's called the KVS. It's a 3D motion analysis. It kind of shows everything that we're working on. It shows the efficiency, it shows how much you're turning your body. So if we take a look at one of my driver swings from yesterday, this is going to show us a little bit of everything. So this is the upper body in blue, and the red is the pelvis, the lower body. So we can see that at the top of my backswing, I turn my shoulders 99 degrees and my pelvis 49. Now, I don't really worry about, unless I see somebody that's really over-rotating up here in the 60s, or somebody that's like going 130 degrees here, or only 79. If somebody's going 79, then we know we need to work on more thoracic or more extension there. So this number here is the difference between these two. So that's what we call the X factor stretch. And if you look at a top front view, you can see that X here. So if you've ever heard of the X factor stretch, which means your lower body goes first, your upper body stays where it's at, and you create a bigger stretch. So this 50 here should go up as we start the downswing, and you can see mine actually goes down. So I'm losing a lot of power there where I could create a lot more. I'm losing it. So basically, in simple terms, means that my upper body is starting my downswing. So that's one of the main key things that I really need to work on, is starting the downswing with my lower body. Now, does that mean I need more stability in my lower body? Does that mean I need more stretch? I think it definitely needs more. I need more thoracic rotation, as we saw in the test that I had on the turning left. One thing here that we get is it's called the kinematic sequence, and this is really measures the efficiency of the swing. Mine is all over the place. I'm not going to confuse you with all these different colors and things, but just to show you an example of what it should look like. It should look like this, and obviously you can see mine. So my goal is over 8 weeks is to be able to change the way this looks and make it look a little bit more like that. So just looking at one of the printouts that we get from an assessment, there is a ton of information that we can get, but some things are really easy to read, like the swing characteristics of an S posture. It says I had none. So basically what I did was I took 5 swings with the driver. I had a little bit of C posture on the third swing. My pelvis spun a little bit over rotated on the backswing on 3 of the 2 swings. my pelvis spin out. So even though I wasn't starting my downswing with my lower body, I was definitely moving it through afterwards. So there's a ton of different information that this gives out, and we can dissect it, but one of the main things that I want to show is it's cool when it gives you year numbers, and then you see what a pro looks like, and then you see what one of your peers looks like. But so here's some information on driver speed. So this is showing me how fast my pelvis moved. These are the averages of tour players. Now I know we're not all 23 and work on this every day, but it's fun to see where a tour player is and where you match up with them. So 430 was my average. You know, anywhere between here is a tour player. My upper body moved 649. So I'm not too bad with my lower body and upper body as far as speed going through, but my lower arm was considerably slower, and my hands were much slower than a tour player. And you're going to be amazed as when you see the lesson in a short bit that's exactly what Bob Laskin told me I needed to do, was speed up my arms and hands. So really cool. This compares you to a tour player's speed with all segments of your body, and this is the sequence and timing where it tells you, you should start the downswing with your pelvis first, torso, then arm, then hand. So I was a little all over the board. I did have one swing 3. I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, which I know it's in there. And then the speeds is where I kind of suffer. So I have a lot of work to do as far as getting this sequence figured out. I'm hoping Bobby can help me with that. I'm also going to work on that in the gym as well. But so this is going to be a great time to focus on everything aspect that I need. This is also a cool thing which shows you your tempo. So I was a little bit slow on the backswing, and then I was a little bit faster on the downswing. So I can kind of speed up my backswing, and hopefully that'll help with my transition a little bit. And then this next video is down at Arroyo Trabuco. I went and saw Coach Bob Laskin, and two of the main things that he said. So when he first saw me swing, he said, you need to, let me grab my notes here. He said, you need to start the downswing with your hips, which is exactly what we saw in the K-Best. It's exactly what we saw in the physical assessment where my hips weren't moving as well. He said you need to turn with your hips, and then he has a flight scope that measured my clubhead speed, which my clubhead speed on average was 100 to 102 for each swing, and I was hitting it pretty straight, surprisingly, since I haven't swung in a while. But he said, turn your hips first and stay behind the ball, because I was having a descending blow with the driver, which you want to swing more up on a driver. So I was swinging down, and because I was starting the swing with my upper body.
All right, Mike, so that looks really good. So some of the things that we saw in your swing that relate to distance here is that, one of the things is you're hitting down on the ball, 3 degrees. So we want to hit up on the ball, and that'll, even though your spin is pretty good there, if you hit up on it, and you should already be doing that because the ball's forward inside your left heel, a little bit of tilt, but I think you're starting your downswing a little bit with your upper body, as we saw in the video. So I think that's one thing that you can really pick up some clubhead speed. So you're at 100.2, very solid though. But I think if we hit up on it a little bit, you can get a little more clubhead speed also. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Well, I think starting your downswing, with the hips, like you always tell me in the gym. Yeah, see, you must be looking at me where my head's going forward in the gym. Now, do as they say, not as they do.
So that's one thing. And once I started doing that, I was able to start the downswing with my lower body when I thought about it. And then we started seeing these big, high pushes. So we took a break. He said, okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to feel like you're casting the club, or you're throwing your hands as fast as you can. Because one of the things I said to him was, should I try and slow down my body so my arms can catch up? He said, no, speed up your hands so your body slows down and everything comes together. So it was brilliant to see it in the physical assessment. It was on the K-Best we saw it. So it was really fun to put all those two things together. And he basically said, you want to feel like you're casting the club. Like, not a lot of players want to feel like they're casting. But for me, my body was going so fast that I had to speed up my hands to keep up and get a good release.
Well, I'm going to just kind of give you a heads up. So I'm gonna show you right now. So the thing is, so when you swing faster, right, the club's more behind, so you're gonna hit it to the right.
Yeah.
So you've got to kind of whip it a little more. So you're gonna feel like you're releasing it.
So with my K-Vest, when I hit balls,
Yeah.
you know how the kinematic sequence, like this goes and
Yes.
then it slows down and then this goes.
This catches up.
So that what happens is this never slows down, the chest, it just keeps turning. So there's no arm, like this doesn't stop and the arms don't drop. So I don't know.
If that's contradicting. Okay, no, here's what I'm saying. Is when you're coming down, this is going, see, and you go faster, and it's this way more. So what I'm saying is, you got to feel like you're whipping the club head through.
Like I'm slowing the chest down.
No.
I'm bringing the arm.
No,
Okay, the arms are
No.
going faster.
no, the club head's moving faster. You're releasing the club head.
Okay.
You're releasing the club head. Because what happens is you're here, and the face is too open because your body's so ahead. So don't slow the body down, speed the club head up. So you feel like you're releasing that thing back here. So that's going to be your tip.
So I'm really excited about that. I want to thank him for taking the time to work with me and show me that. So I'm going to go back to him in 4 weeks. We'll do an update, see where we're at, and then we'll do it again in the final testing when I'm ripping it right down the middle of the fairway. So please follow along. We're going to be on the blog on our website, HansonFitnessForGolf.com. You can follow along daily on Instagram. Our Instagram page is Hanson Fitness for Golf. I'll put some stories up of the workouts that we're doing, and then stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to design the program. So exactly what I'm going to be doing over the next 8 weeks. The program's going to be designed for you, for me, and then hopefully you can get something out of it. So hope you follow along. Let me know if you have any questions anywhere in the comments below or on our Instagram page. I hope you enjoy this program.